Shall we start, Abdullah?
Yeah, sure. Mr. Torsten here, I believe, and participants, most of them came, so sure. If you want to begin, we can do that.
يلا. Bismillah. First of all, I'm going to start with generally about the training and my experience in Germany. And Mr. Thorsten, hopefully after that, he's going to describe also his part, and he will describe a lot about the bureaucracy in Germany and the paperwork would need a lot of help and assistance. Uh, Actually, just to find the small things that the differences between the healthcare system in Germany and here, they have hospitals, which is secondary and tertiary. It's like, some hospitals they are offering only the minimal things, and they are transferring the big things to the big hospitals. But they're university hospitals and the governmental hospital, they are recognized as a tertiary referral centers. And they have primary health care, but not only for family medicine. They have only for the also for the subspecialty. So they have a family doctor, and they have internal medicine doctors, and they have ENT doctors. All of them, they are doing the BHC. So it's not run directly by the government. It's runs directly by you cannot call it private, but as a doctor, you can buy a seat in a quarter of the city, for example. It's which cover around 50 to 100,000 population. So you will cover this area with ENT services. So everybody from this service would like to go to ENT doctor can go to the BHC directly. Can go sometimes also to the family doctor, and the family doctor refer him to the ENT doctors. Same exactly for the gynae, for pediatric, for urology, everything. But, also the trauma doctors, which usually the orthopedics, they have clinics outside for the small trauma. They do the full checkup. If they need, they transfer to the hospitals. So, and there's all of them, they are covering the governmental insurance, which is actually it's like government services, but with the insurance that you are paying from your salary around 7.5%. And the host of the, or actually who's the company are paying 7.5% of your salary. So total, if your total salary around 15% of your salary going to the insurance. It covers almost everything, with some exception for the aesthetic cosmetic things, which usually also got accepted if it's functional, not pure aesthetic. Accessibility for everybody. You can buy on top if you have. It's actually this type of insurance is mandatory. So for most of the people, they have to have this insurance. If you are jobless, so the government will pay this for you. If you have job, you have to pay it by yourself. If you reach some salary, actually, I think more than 60,000 per year or something, you can buy also obligatory insurance, but private insurance, which you can have more access to the BTCs and more, but somehow also access to some the directors of the clinic. So they are like top professors. You get easy appointment with the top professor, not like the governmental one. But actually, it's most quite the same with more maybe VIP access. The scholarship and the application process, actually, it depends. If you are Saudis, you can apply through the Ministry of Education. They have a lot of agreements, and also the most known one is the Charité, which I did in 2015. I joined this agreement. And nowadays, Torsten and his group, they are doing agreement also with the attaché, the Saudi cultural attaché in Berlin, to develop something like the Charité things, that they are doing the bureaucratic things for you and doing the till you get your license, and they will facilitate for you also to join a hospital in Germany. The entry requirement, you need the B2, it's the general language exam, and you need the C1 medicine. It's like a sub-specialized language. All of them, they have a group, they have courses, either through Gutha, through Tilk, a lot of language institute can provide you with this B2. The C1, it's a little bit limited, but nowadays it's not that, like in my time, 2015, 16, it was almost nothing, because I think they started 2014 with this exam. So in my time there is no resources, no courses, nothing no material to know what's actually going on with this exam. And it was easy, actually. Nowadays, I think it's more hard. The license, you can get it either through approbation, which is actually just like SMLEs, MCQE, and these things, and SMLE, the Saudi one, but it's not written. It's actually a pure clinical exam. You will apply for the exam after you pass the C1, so they will give you usually it's medicine, surgery, and the third subspecialty. They will choose it by themselves. You are not able to choose it. For me, I got cardiology and general surgery, and the third was psychiatry. One of my colleagues got biochemistry, one got pathology, pediatric, ICU, and these things. So the exam, it's pure clinically based. You come to the patient, examine the chest, for example, from A to Z, exactly like also for the abdomen, and after that they will tell you, please write a brief, medical report about the patient, history, examination, investigation, and plan or manage plan. They will discuss with you some topics, and actually everybody who did medicine, he will pass the exam. At the beginning it's tricky about the language, but he will pass it. Qualification recognition, I don't know anybody who did it. This is yet you are giving them all of your the study guides, the certificates you have, also the syllabus that you studied in the university. They will try to recognize your certificate. It will take more than half a year, 12 months. I didn't do it, actually. Well, my plan was from the beginning actually to do the exam, because it's the easier way and it's easy also, and the fastest way. So I did it, and then in my time we can start to do the temporary medical license. Nowadays it's not allowed to start any program without approbation or full medical license. How is the residency structure in Germany? It's designed by the Ärztekammer, which is like, Saudi Health Commission, like the Royal College in Canada. They give you the logbook and how you design your residency, but the contract, the execution completely by the center. So you didn't need to apply in the Ärztekammer or the Royal College. You apply all direct to the hospital. The hospital will give you a training position, but actually it's a pure job. So you have a duty to do completely. So it's not sometimes you say, oh, it's my training comes first. No, it's their rule. Sometimes in the hospital, your job comes first. So it's generally speaking, it's like a position in the hospital. If you work like 6 months and 1 year and you find there is no training chances, which I don't recommend, actually. I just tell my colleagues also stay as much as you can in the hospital, because sometimes after second, third years, it gets better and better. And if you start with a new hospital, you will start from the bottom again, which is why I mentioned executed by center, and I mentioned the Charité. It's the top 7th and by Newsweek, although I don't believe in Newsweeks and Times, Shanghai. I don't know these kind of classifications, because it's medicine is not about ranking, actually. Medicine, it's about flow of the cases and chances of teaching, and for surgical subspecialties like me, cut. So it's not about the ranking and the research. It's about how much cases do you see per day, how much cases do you treat per month. So, for example, how much surgery do you do per month, and overall at the end of the 5 years, it's about your exposure. What did you see, and what you learned, actually. Also theoretically, what did you do in your free time? These are in the top 200 Newsweek university. These around, I don't know, 15, 16 university in Germany. Although my opinion, I think sometimes if you start in governmental hospital, not a university hospital, because those are, or all of them, they are university hospital. Sometimes it's better, because you will have a good flow, you will have a good service, and you don't need to work under pressure of the university, because the university you have another duty, teaching, research. Also because they have a huge turnover in the staff, so sometimes you work with the staff after 5 years, you have a new completely staff. This is what I was talking about, clinical training and cases exposure. I think I was lucky to work in two centers, because Charité has three centers. I worked in two centers where they have the highest flow in Berlin, and they were doing a lot of things. Medicine is not about books and journals and reading articles. I agree, those are more important than everything. But if you didn't see the cases, if you didn't read the cases, you will not learn. Even if you stay a day and time reading the journals, articles, and memorizing all of the figures, you will not able to treat your patient in the future, and you will not able to gain the confidence to treat the patient because you didn't see it in real life. And this is what's the what the experience do for you during your training, the 5 years training, for example, in the ENT. It's just seeing cases every day, and the repetition of seeing cases, also the rare cases, it will help you in the future to treat your cases, even if your reading skills is not that big, like for those people, for example, who were able to read more than you, but they didn't see the cases as much as you. So, in my opinion, both is a balanced for sure, but I'm a big fan of more flow of cases than more reading, actually. Fellowship and subspecialties, they have some subspecialties which is recognized by the ERSA, but they are limited, not like it's actually exactly like the Royal College in Canada, even in UK. But they have the center-based, which is actually most, even in Canada and USA, most of the fellowships are center-based, not recognized by the Royal College. So it's not like the residency. If you have the residency, you are eligible to do everything. The subspecialty, it's like a certificate, you get it from 2 or 3 consultant who are saying you did this job perfectly during 12 months, and you can get this certificate, and this is like center-based fellowship. Challenges, for sure, language is one of the biggest challenges actually in Germany, although it opens a lot of doors for you actually. In my opinion, actually, I think one of the most good things that I learned in Germany, or actually what I did in Germany, is learning German. You will lose your skills to speak in English after a couple of months, but actually, it's a good language. The material and the data they have it published in German as a medical field, for me, it's more than what do you expect. For example, they have 3 or 4 books, ENT books, written in German, pure German. They have 2 journals. They are publishing around, I don't know, 15 to 20 articles per month in pure German. They have one of the biggest ENT conferences in the world, I would say in Europe. It's in pure German. So it's not a challenge, actually, in my opinion. It's something positive for you and for your future. Somebody. Uh, Torsten, and Berlin is an exceptional thing, because Berlin, and this is one of the things also to mention. Berlin, it's difficult to learn German in Berlin. My wife, she tried to learn German, but she failed because in every corner in Berlin they speak German. They speak English. They speak only English. Not they speak German and English. They speak only English. This is the main issue in Berlin, actually. Bureaucracy in Germany, actually, in the beginning, it was for me, it's like killing your joy, actually. But at the end, it's something that you enjoy to do it, because. But the path is clear. I know it's take longer time. They are taking too much thing. Actually, it's more serious. But at the end, the path is clear for everybody. Culture engagement and integration. I try to translate it perfectly. Integration. Actually, this is something I enjoyed it, actually. Still, I have my German friend. Actually, the common friend between me and Torsten, she was my German teacher, Suzanne. So I still have my contacts, although I left Germany like almost 2 years now. I'm still enjoying in every vacation that I go to Germany, actually trying to practice my German languages and to be in contact with my colleagues. They visited me 1 month ago here also in Riyadh. So actually, it's not a challenge for me. If you are opening the door for their culture, they will open the door also for your culture. So it's something that we both of us respect our cultures, and both of us we can be friends with respecting our culture. By the way, Torsten, his wife is, I think, she's a cardiologist and she's from Palestine. So the cultural engagement, I think nowadays with the new generation, it's not that challenge. Variation between centers, that's something I agree. Actually, inside the centers, there is a lot of variation between the resident itself. So in Germany, there is no spoon feeding. You are the program director. They are the one who's executing your program. So you have to be careful what you are doing, what you are seeing. If you have weakness, you have to speak up and work on it and try to cover it and everything. Workload, actually, in Germany, somehow the workload it's more than normal. I did a rotation last year in France, and I did a rotation in UK. 10 years ago, I did a couple of electives in Canada. It's not comparable. The workload in Germany is totally not comparable. Even here in Saudi Arabia, the most busiest center has maybe, I would not say 25% less, but uh, actually, it's not comparable. That's it. The benefit, international recognition, if you have approbation, the medical license in Germany, so you are allowed to work in Europe, but you need sometimes the languages if you go to France, for example, or Switzerland. Research opportunity, they have a lot of research. So what I presented before, they were research centers. They are doing a lot of research, even they are pioneers in their research, and they are leading some field in medical field. For example, ALS, they are, I think in Heidelberg or Ulm, they are leading nowadays medication that not only delay, but also increase the chance of cure or something like that. Higher exposure they have because they are designed in every quarter of the area actually covered by those number of people. They have this center with the tertiary center, secondary hospital, secondary centers, and they have a lot of referrals. So every center there it's busy, and you will have your high exposure. Excellent social system. That's something I don't think you will find it in Canada, also in USA, because they pay a lot for also for the kids. Most of the schools are for free if you don't want the international one. There is a lot of kindergarten and these things. So it's an excellent social system if you don't have sponsorship.
Doctor, I would like to ask you a question. For students who are wanting to take, for example, medical students wanting to take an elective or an observership in Germany, how important is the language and what level of language is required to, thrive in?
Actually, I don't know what I did. Hello?
Hello, موجود. I hear you.
Actually, I think you can do it, but it will not help you that much. Maybe you will go there to just explore the city, the city, the situation, the medical field, and these things. I saw some. They came actually from India. They came and they joined us in the past, and they were okay. They spoke all English. Okay, you can do it, but I don't think the language is more important. But you will not get that much benefit. Maybe you go for 1 week, for example, to just to get in touch and to see how is it going. Yeah, I think it's okay.
Thank you.
Do you see the representation now?
Yes. Lifestyle and work culture.
Work culture, I told you before. German, they are straightforward sometimes also with their comments, but they do it with friendly way. So if they don't like anything, I will tell you an example. My first year, two of my colleagues, they've been shouting and they're almost fighting actually, and it was 4 p.m. in the afternoon, almost after the shift. And I was thinking they will kill each other actually after 5 minutes. And the next day in the morning, they came and they say hello and they discuss something about the work together without any personal issue. Then I was discussing with a third colleague. I told them, guys, yesterday I saw them, they were about to kill each other. What's wrong today? They said, okay, they are working together, but they don't need to live together. So it's about work. We're going to discuss the situation, even if you didn't agree about anything, but we will continue discussing that. These things, I think, professionalism that I have never seen it actually. They are these kinds of professionalisms, and they don't take it personally if you give them negative feedback, and they are expecting that also. If they are giving you a negative feedback, don't take it personally. So they are a little bit يعني I would say it in Arabic يعني شوية جفسين يعني, but at the end it's not something personal. It's something, a bad comment or a good comment to say it, and that's it. Nothing behind it. Lifestyle in Berlin, I think, is in my opinion, the best city that I have ever lived in. I just saw it actually. I went to Berlin since last year around 6 times actually, even for 2-3 days. We love it actually, even in my family, and I think there is no cities comparable with Berlin. The financial stability in Germany, I think it's much, much better than other abroad system, like maybe USA, but actually during residency, USA, it's a little bit challenging actually, because you have to pay a lot. You will gain a lot, but the thing, you have to pay a lot for the schools and these things. If you have family, if you don't have family, okay, I would accept it. This is the salary, but this is the overall. They will take. You need to take around 30 to. It depends if you are married or not. Around from 30 to 40% of this salary per month, and you will get extra also for the on-calls. You will get paid also for the on-calls. It depends if it's weekend, middle of the week, if it's only 12-hour shifts or 24-hour shifts, if it's Sundays, if it's holidays. But it's at least 1,000 euro netto, they call it. That means what you are getting in your bank account. This is for the resident. This is the specialist, and this is the consultant. But actually, for consultant, you will have extra agreement with the professor that you work with. So she will give you for sure the salary, but with the on-calls. But at the end, you will get more private patients sometimes, and sometimes she's paying like 1,000 to 2,000 extra for extra duties and these things. For the consultant, it's a little bit higher than the prices here. Social life, social security, I think I discussed this quickly and briefly. I think it's good now.
Dr. Walagatak, I think your presentation is lagging, I believe.
I think we finished. No, it was only
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
I will give Dr. Torsten now the chance to describe his service, so then we can proceed with the questions.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Could you have a short reaction if you see my screen?
I think we're supposed.
It's okay?
I don't believe you can see it, Doctor.
You can see my screen?
No.
Not? Okay. Why? Just a moment. Present. Bildschirm. But now I think, I hope so.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep, okay, yes.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, hello and a warm welcome. I would like to give you an overview of what Yana does and what we may be able to do for you. My name is Torsten Pressel. I'm the founder of Yana, and before I'm founding Yana, I gained over 30 years in experience in sales and consulting in various fields and positions, and most recently spent about 15 years in different roles at SAP. You are probably familiar with SAP. It's the largest software company in Europe and one of the biggest companies in Germany. At SAP, I gained experience in various areas and projects, including very large and complex projects for major corporations and public authorities. I met my wife in 2019. I think it's a little bit interesting. She's from Palestine, as Moonef said, and was in Berlin for 2 years for a charity research project. After the project ended, she decided to stay in Germany and apply for approbation here in Berlin. She's a specialist in internal medicine and cardiology. My idea to found Yana came about because my wife applied for approbation in 2021, and I helped her with it. And that was truly a very extensive process. The authorities require a large number of documents. These documents must be notarized, translated into German, and some documents must then be notarized again in Germany. We also constantly had follow-up questions that we need to answer. It was a very, very long process. For a doctor who does not speak German very well, such a process is very, very complex and protracted. I then looked at the market and searched for companies that offer assistance here, and I actually did not find a single company that helps foreign doctors apply for the approbation for the medical license and also offers help or support with other various questions. There are consultants who claim that they take care of everything, but who only have a telephone number, no websites, and no tax number, and who only want to accept cash. So maybe it's not a good idea to make a deal with such consultants. I think that's an interesting thing. So what is Yana? Following that, I founded Yana in 2024. We are now a team of 5 people and offer our services to all doctors who come to Germany from third countries and wish to work here. We also offer, and this is a very important point, specialized training and upon request, a full service package that can cover all areas. I will go into more detail on that later. There are some training sessions that could be impossible too. The current situation, what is normal situation when a foreign doctor comes to Germany? They first have to orient themselves. There are many new stimuli, a new language, and sometimes also a new cultural experience that they first have to get used to. And they have many questions. Which visa? We try, for example, which visa? How can I apply for a license to practice medicine, or the FSP, the C1 language test? A lot of important things. We try to help early on, right from the start, with all the questions that might arise. For example, which visa allows me to come to Germany? It's a very important thing because you have a process from time to time for 2 months or for 6 months, depending also the language that you speak. Maybe you have a B2 certificate. It's much easier depending on the kind of visa. These are all topics that need to be addressed when you come to Germany and want to apply for the approbation here. Yeah. Okay. Possible sources. There are various ways to get answers. There are social networks. Many doctors use Telegram, Facebook, YouTube, or regularly watch Instagram videos. On the right side, you can see also the websites of the relevant authorities where one can apply for the approbation. The interesting thing, however, is that these websites are available in languages that are actually not in high demand. Spanish, French, English. Even so, not many doctors come from countries with these languages come to Germany. Most doctors from third countries in recent years have come from Romania, Turkey, and the Arab states, but you will not find content in these languages on those websites. That's an interesting thing. I don't know why they don't offer these languages on their websites. So what about quality and time? Doctors, therefore, spend a lot of time on social media and ask their questions there. These are generally answered by other doctors who have heard something or who perhaps already have experience with this process. However, one can fundamentally never be certain that these answers are correct. This means you spend a lot of time there, and in the end, you don't even know if the answer you received will actually lead you to your goal. Yeah. I don't know what is your experience with your questions for Germany. You can use social media, but often the answers are not 100% correct. So how else can it be done? We start with our doctors with a detailed questionnaire and an initial consultation. We want to get know each other first, the doctor and us, and we, the doctor. Then it's important to clarify what is the current status. Are you fresh out of university or do you already have professional experience? That's important for your job later, for example. Do you have family? Are you coming alone, or will your family be joining you if you come with family? It could be very different. If you come alone, it's much easier. Then you have a family and maybe 2 or 3 kids. Then we have to look for school, for kita, for clubs, for sports clubs. It's very different. How old are the children? What goals does the family have? What are your professional goals and which specialty are you interested in? For example, would you prefer to live in a city or looking ahead rather in the countryside in a smaller town? There are many different options that we would like to know about so that we can take them into account early on. We simply need a good, comprehensive picture so that we can offer optimal assistance. Yeah, if you work with us, this is what it looks like. Forget it. You have a lot to do, and your job is to learn. As Moonef said, the most thing to learn is German, 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 German. It's the most important thing. And however, we can support you with a clear division of tasks. This task, your job is to learn German, German, German. You must learn German if you want to come to Germany. It's also very important for your integration, not only for the job to get the Fachsprachprüfung or the medical license, it's also important for the integration. Our job is to support you in all other matters where you do not have to be actively involved yourself. We can help you with the compilation of documents. We can arrange for these documents to be translated. We scan all your documents. We take over the complete communication with authorities. We offer integration training, which I will go into more detail shortly. And of course, we can also help if you are looking for language courses, for example, for preparation for the medical language examination. That's the Fachsprachprüfung, FSP in short. So what are these integration trainings? What do we offer is we have various training sessions in which we address different topics that can certainly be important. Imagine you are at a party and you meet people and there's small talk. Then you should simply know certain things so that you can participate on the conversation or at least understand what is being discussed when you hear something. We always start with new to Germany, the basics. If you are looking for an apartment, you also have to register with that apartment. It's an Anmeldung in Germany. If you have a driver's license, it may have to be converted, or you may even have to take an additional test. Or you need a tax number. We will show you how and where you can best open a bank account and what types of bank transfers and direct debit procedures, Lastschriftverfahren, for example, exist. And if you don't know what that is, that's what we are here for. Or you want a smartphone contract, an internet contract, or you want to join a gym, or the kids want to play soccer or join a table tennis club. We can help with all these things. We offer further training sessions on the topic of geography and mobility. For example, politics in Germany and the federal state you want to move to. I think you start in Berlin, and for your education, you move to other federal states. You will get an overview of the political system, learn about the parties, their programs, and important figures, so that you understand how the political system in Germany fundamentally works. And if you eventually want to buy an apartment or a house as a capital investment, we can also help you learn about the important things here. And a very important point here, we do not mediate anything. We do not arrange insurance. We do not arrange houses or apartments. We only give you the information that should help you make the right decisions. That's important. Yeah. We have 8 training sessions. German economy is also important. When you come to Germany, you know Audi, Mercedes, BMW, but we provide an overview of how the German economy is structured. For example, we have a very broad Mittelstand, small and medium-sized enterprises. There are many truly large family-run businesses that are hardly known to the public. We want to give you an overview here so that you can also participate in discussions when it comes to economic topics. The German media landscape, how is it structured? What radio and television stations, newspapers, magazines are there? And of course, specialist journals for doctors. Or important for families, what does the German education system look like? Which school can my children attend? What opportunities do they have in terms of vocational training, Ausbildung, for example? These are all topics that you should be familiar with before you come to Germany with your family so that you can find the most seamless transition possible and a quick setting in for the children. Then very important for you, the German healthcare system. How is it structured? Which institution exists? What are the tasks of these institutions? What does the collective bargaining agreement look like? Or do you know where to get this information? I don't know. Next, I have some figures. Here, I always like to ask one or two questions. Imagine you are now at a party and are asked for how many hospitals there actually are in Germany and how many doctors. Please write both these numbers in the chat, and without research, you would spontaneously estimate. So what is your answer? How many hospitals, how many doctors do we have in Germany?
1 million.
Hmm?
1 million doctors.
1 million doctors. Yeah, great. I can't see anything in the chat. You're all sleeping, right? Okay. So where is it? Ah,
1,000.
just a moment. Oh, my presentation doesn't work anymore. What's that? Oh, I think I have a... okay. So we have 1,080 and 41 hospitals here in Germany. And a million doctors is a little bit high. We have more than 400,000 doctors. I have some more figures because I think it's very interesting. For you, it was interesting for me to see these figures, and I want to show you. What do you think? How much percent of these doctors work in a hospital? How much percent? No idea? Oh, you are all sleeping, right? You are there? Okay. 52% work in a hospital and 39% in medical practices. It's a different structure than in your country. You have 500 hospitals there and 130,000 doctors, and 90% of them, I think all of you maybe want to work in a hospital later. 90% of them work in hospitals. So it's a complete different structure in Germany or in Saudi Arabia. For example, the figures from the inhabitants and the inhabitants per hospital and the inhabitants per doctor. And why we have such different figures here? The answer is easy. Anybody knows why? Okay, I get no answer today from you.
I have one thing to say. Yeah, okay.
It's the average age of all inhabitants. Germany is an old country. The average age is 45 years, and in your country it's 30 years. And I think that's one of the reasons why we have so many inhabitants, so many inhabitants per doctor in Saudi Arabia and not so much in Germany.
Torsten, do you mean medical practice meinst du einfach die Niederlassung?
Eine Arztpraxis.
Genau.
My wife
Ja, genau.
in a medical practice in a partnership with with an internal medicine doctor. She's a cardiologist. He's an internal
Okay.
medicine doctor, and they work in they share their
It's
rooms.
like a polyclinics. That's what I explained before, guys. It's like a PHC. It's primary health care, but it's actually for the subspecialty because she's a cardiologist. She can do a clinic only for cardiology, for general cardiology. And this is what he means with the medical practice. So actually, it's the primary healthcare, which is classified in Saudi Arabia, primary healthcare. But the primary healthcare in Saudi Arabia run only by family doctors. But in Germany, you can run it also with a subspecialty. For your subspecialty, for sure, not only as a GP.
Yeah. So, our goal, what we aim to achieve with all these efforts is for you to receive the approbation and feel comfortable, regardless of how long you intend to stay in Germany. And of course, after obtaining the approbation, you can optimally transition into your desired specialist training program, and then in the following years, not only focus on learning, but also participate in social life, be it sports, culture, or whatever else you enjoy. That's an important thing for us. A possible timeline. We made this timeline for the project with the Cultural Bureau here in Berlin. It's an example, and it could be a good example for you or not. It depends on you. How is your motivation to learn German? That's the first and the most important thing at the beginning. So what could the path look like? You can see a possible timeline here where it's important to note that you will find examples of Yana services below the arrow. The upper linguistic part is offered by a partner of Yana. It is the trainer from Moonef, Susan, he talked about. And this schedule was created specially for a group of doctors who are due to come to Germany, and this timeline was constructed previously for them. This means that if you come with a group of 10 to 15 doctors, such a schedule would be just as possible. Yeah, that's important. If you come alone, you have to organize your trainings a little bit on the other side. You have to look for a training school. This is a fix concept, and yeah, I think that's important to understand. Okay, possible services offered by Yana. We offer our services as packages. Also, individual services can also be booked. In our experience, doctors often have different requirements. Some doctors want to do a lot on their own, while others prefer the full service package. It is also important, for example, whether a doctor comes alone or with family. The effort required for a family is significantly greater, for instance, if we also work on behalf of the partner and children. I think that's clear. Proposal and offer. You have just seen the services we can provide in this process. Should you generally be interested in a collaboration, please write us an email. Put DEC 1312 in the subject line. We will then first send you a questionnaire. And after we have received the answers and possibly many questions from you, we will arrange a first video call. In this call, we will go through all your questions and describe how we can proceed together if you wish to work with us. You will then receive an offer and the following discounts. We can offer the entire process more cheaply to more doctors, award us the contract. Here are the examples. If you come with a group from doctors for 3 or 4 or 5, you can get more discount. And we have examples for such prices and discounts. The reason is because with a group that proceeds simultaneously together, we can consolidate tasks and communication simpler. And for better understanding, I have included the totals converted into your currency, the Saudi riyal here too. So that you have an idea which cost for Yana would be possible. To have
Just one thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. But one thing to say, Yana actually is collaborating also with the Saudi Ministry of Education. So in the future, these prices going to be sponsored if you are sponsored. If you are not sponsored, you need to pay it by yourself. But if you are sponsored, Yana gonna be, sorry, the Ministry of Education gonna cover these costs.
Yeah, that's right. Depending on the services, that's important because the Culture Bureau has not all the complete package. They have different services, and it's important for you which services you prefer. Yeah. So the potential cost overall, I think we need to consider two areas here, the monthly cost and the one-time cost. The following statement is an estimate and is intended to provide a possible overview. We have various items that arise during a migration. If you apply for a visa, you must set up a blocked account, in German Sperrkonto, with approximately around about 12,000 euros to prove that you can survive in Germany. You are then allowed to withdraw about 1,000 euros per month from this account, for example. Then there are the costs of living. You may want to exercise, go to the cinema or the theater. You need a ticket for the bus or train. If a car is added, it becomes a little more expensive. And note on the car, Germany is the only country with freeways where there is partly no speed limit. So if you want to bring your Ferrari or Lamborghini, you can have a lot of fun here. For example, many years ago, I once drove from Berlin to Frankfurt. That were 660 kilometers on a Sunday night, and I needed 2 hours and 58 minutes from door to door for 660 kilometers. So you can have a lot of fun here on our freeways. You need language training. You have to have documents translated. There are fees. And very importantly, you should take a preparation course of the knowledge examination, which can also be relatively expensive. With the possible services from Yana, there is then a range from two, which, as already mentioned, also depends on your individual circumstances. Furthermore, it also depends on how long you need. And because I like to calculate the worst case, I have to simply assume 18 months. During this time, you will earn little or no money. That will only come once you have received your approbation. Until then, however, you will have approximately this cost, which I have also converted into your currency here. You see it at the end, 18 months and your currency at the end. Do you have any question about this, or do we make the FAQs later?
I believe we have a section for questions at the end.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Then, as we said in Germany, vielen Dank für Ihr Interesse.
Is there a translation?
Thank you for your interest.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Okay. And if you like, just one thing, if you like, we have a website, of course, and this website in different languages, also in Arabic. So you can get all this information, not all this information, but a lot of information via our website here. Yeah.
Great to know. Thank you for the amazing presentation, Mr. Torsten. Dr. Moonef, I would like to ask you a simple question is, how was the experience like, transitioning from Saudi University to residency in Germany, and how was that transition like for you?
It was in the beginning difficult for sure because it's totally different thing, but I was accepting everything, so it went smoothly somehow. Actually, not very good smoothly, but actually it went better than what I expected in the beginning. And if the times goes back, actually 2015, I will choose the same pathway actually. Although I didn't apply for the residency in Germany, actually, to be fair, yani. I was applying also for the scholarship just because I had two scholarships that time, and one was for Canada, the other one I was planning, okay, for plan B, I would like to go to Germany. That was the plan. Then all of a sudden, the Charité did the agreement with the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education has my paper, so they send it to the Charité. They send me the invitation for the interview. They went to the interview. I didn't know actually about the Charité. Then it was my plan, my goal was just to go outside the country. So I went to Charité just to see my chances. And that time, actually, it was a little bit much easier than now, because at that time was you were able to work with the temporary medical license, which is not now. So I joined the hospital almost 13 months after I went to Germany. So I didn't wait too much time actually to join my training. But then I recommend, and at the same time I don't recommend. But in the chances that you have, guys, sorry to say that, but you guys are not lucky anymore. We were lucky 10 years ago or 15 years ago. We were able to choose also between the residency outsides. Nowadays, I think it's for you guys just like a horse of you, just look forward and do whatever it's needed for your subspecialty. Do it as much as you can, as soon as you can. Don't wait and waste your time for applying here or outside. If you don't, for sure, here the competition is much, much, much higher than in Germany, actually. But at the end of the story, it's not about Germany or Saudi Arabia. Sometimes nowadays, it's difficult to finish your residency. So choose what's suitable for you and just do it. If it's in Germany, it's good. If it's in Canada, it's good. If it's in UK, it's good. The most important thing, just to finish your residency, because it's becoming harder and harder. Even in Germany, it's becoming harder and harder. Even USA, it's becoming harder and harder. Canada, UK, France, Saudi Arabia, everywhere. Because look, how many graduates we have in Saudi Arabia? 5,000, 5,500, or something like that. How many seats do we have in the Saudi Health Commission? 3,000, I think, in the maximum things. So I would not say 2,000 left over, but it's almost like this actually. And they are coming next year for the applications. So those 4,000 or 6,000 they are waiting for the residency, they will apply somewhere else. One of them is Germany, or Charité, whatever it is. So sometimes it's about just to finish your residency. The quality of training there is good if you are good. If you are bad, so even if you go to, I don't know, Stanford or something like that, you will be bad. You will not pass anything. You will not able to learn anything. You are not. The spoon feeding things, it's actually the trend of the spoon feeding. Let me say it like this. It's already over. Nowadays, you need to work on yourself. You need to prove things for yourself. Then you will get your good training. Allah يوفقك إن شاء الله.
I mean, so this question is directed for both. I would like to ask, like, for example, for students who are interested in residency in Germany, how long would it take to learn the German language to be integrated into the medical system?
For me, I would, Torsten, Entschuldigung, noch zu starten.
Yeah.
For me, actually, I would say like this. In the beginning, in the process, you need to pass the exam so you process your paper. It's not about mastering the language. When I finished the B2, I finished it in 6 months with Suzanne. I finished it, I think the best score was 60. I finished it with 62, just to be fair. 6 months or 7 months when I started in the B2, I finished in 7 months of learning, which is nowadays is difficult because the exam got difficult actually. So you need at least 1 year nowadays. But mastering the language, the first year, يعني شو أحكي لك? First year, it's like, the foreigner that we have here, the doctors.
Yeah.
Even we speak English in the hospital. Do you see how much they are suffering speaking Arabic with the patient?
Yes.
It's exactly the same. The first year, I can write a book actually about the stories what happened in the first year when I started on course and these things. But this is life actually, because mastering the language is different than passing the language to start your job. Because in the beginnings you will not start. Also the small conversation, small jokes. Nowadays I'm looking stand-up comedians in German, so it's a pure things that I understand the small jokes between the German cultures. But it took around 9 years or 10 years of German conversations.
Yeah.
So mastering the language is different than what you need to pass the exam. You will pass the exams, you finish, you will join the hospital. Inside the hospital, every day you will learn a new word, even if it's private or medical words. So I think in the first 3 to 6 months, you will start then to at least understand 70 to 80% of the small talks and the conversation inside the hospital. Torsten?
Yeah. I think I said you need for all the course is 1,000 to 1,400 hours. I will take it in four phases. The first phase is A1. If you go to a course for A1, you get a feeling how German works for you, how you feel if you learn German and the structure from the German language. That's the first phase. If you decide to make more to get the next steps, the next phase is B2. B2 is very important because you need B2 if you get a normal visa to come to Germany. There are different visa you can choose. And B2 is important to get such a visa to come to Germany. And if you have B2, you understand a lot and you can speak not a little, more than a little. You can articulate everything you want in a different way. That's clear. But you understand a lot of things. The third phase is C1. It's the Fachspracheprüfung, the FSP. That's important because you know these tests for your approbation. And if you have C1, then you have the a small step to the fourth phase. And the fourth phase is the knowledge test. You have to make a knowledge test for your approbation. And in this knowledge test, there are two focuses. One focus is your knowledge in medicine, and the other focus is how you can describe your knowledge in the medicine process. And I have here the slide with all the weeks we have in our structure in the group. We have 9 weeks for A1. We have 9 weeks for A2. We have 9 weeks for B1 and 10 weeks for B2. So there's 37 weeks for two phases, A1 to B2. Yeah. And then 14 weeks for C1. So I think 1,000 to 1,400 hours is realistic to speak German in a very good way for your medical way.
That's great to hear. I hope the people in the chat benefited from both presentations. So now we're going to divide you guys into breakout rooms so that people who have any questions, specific questions, you guys can answer that if that's possible.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
That's fine? Yes.
Yeah.
And again, thank you so much for the amazing presentations.
Here, thank you so much.
Okay.
Staying you a few minutes.
You're welcome.
Any more questions? Okay, I believe we're done with the session. Again, once more, thank you so much, Dr. Moonef.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Torsten. Amazing presentation. Once again, thank you.
I wish you all the best,
Thank you.
guys.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.